All right, cool. So tell us your name and what brought you in to the office.
My name is Cassie Hager, and about 5 years ago I started getting sick with really random symptoms that came on very suddenly. I felt dizziness all the time. I would suffer from blackouts, visual blackouts, where my eyes would go black for a few seconds at a time, and it would happen multiple times a day. I had chronic pain throughout my whole body, and had difficulty breathing, and all of these different symptoms kind of developed and progressed over the span of 5 years. And January of 2019, this year, I had a very hard time just doing normal things. I wasn't able to work out. I was missing days of work because I was so sick. And over the 5 years, I had been going to my doctors, and they were running blood tests and doing brain tests and sending me to different specialists, but nothing came up with any sort of results. And so I kept getting sent away from the doctor saying that something was wrong with me, but they had no idea what it was and that they just weren't able to help me anymore. And so as my breathing got more difficult and my body was in more and more pain every day and my blackouts became so much more frequent, I decided that I needed to find a different option. And that's what led me to come to Dr. Medina.
Awesome. And did your doctors, did they end up sending you to psychiatry at all, or they just couldn't figure out what was going on?
I had already been seeing a therapist, and so they were going back and forth with different tests that were related to mental situations, and nothing helped me with that. I had an EKG where they had me sleep to see my patterns while I was sleeping, and that didn't come up with anything. So I was diagnosed with migraines and put on medication for migraines. That had no effect on me. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and was put on medication for fibromyalgia, and it didn't benefit either, and took multiple different kinds of pain medication that never really had a lasting effect because I would just get used to them and then the pain would come back.
And so how have your results been here? What did we end up finding for you?
All of the symptoms that I had, we were able to draw back to being caused by mold and triggering inflammation. And so Dr. Medina was able to kind of look through every single symptom that I had and treat me specifically for those things. And so I've seen so much progress. I am rarely ever dizzy anymore, getting to the point where I go almost normal without any sort of dizziness. No more blackouts, and I am pain-free for quite a few weeks now. And I get to go back to my normal life. I get to exercise, I get to work regularly without feeling like I'm going to black out or get sick. And so almost every single symptom has been completely reset to before I was sick, and I'm able to breathe normally. So we've been able to not only get my body able to function through the illness, but also getting me better so that I can live normally afterward.
Awesome. So would you say your fibromyalgia is gone?
Yes. The pain points that they had classified as fibromyalgia no longer hurt when I touch them, and my body doesn't ache like it used to either.
Awesome. So would you recommend others to come?
Yes, I would definitely recommend others to come, because even if you don't know what's wrong with your body, sometimes it takes just a little bit more effort that a lot of doctors aren't willing to put in to the treatment. But I was able to find out so much more about my health by coming to see Dr. Medina.
Awesome. And you had been struggling for like 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, and who were your providers?
Oh, Kaiser Permanente.
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple visits to Kaiser that came back with me, not knowing what was wrong and being told they couldn't help me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your story. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do suffer without answers, and hopefully we offer some kind of hope here.
Yeah, definitely found hope.
So thanks again for sharing your story.